This is the most important question in sports all day. Are you ready? Are you giving the Celtics a chance? I asked this question first to myself. Of course I'm giving the Celtics a chance. Think about it like this. Any record that does not have an asterisk by it due to drugs or due to legitimization of competition has fallen in the last 20 years, sports-related records. Usain Bolt, 100-meter dash. LeBron James coming back from down 3-1. Let's think about it even in the context of basketball. We hadn't seen anybody score over 70 points after Wilt until I believe it was Kobe. But then after Kobe did it, roughly 10 years later, I believe it was Devin Booker did it. Yeah. Then after Devin Booker did it, roughly 4 years later, I believe it was Spidey Mitchell who did it. Yep. Then after Spidey Mitchell did it, just like 2 months later or 2 weeks later, Dame Lillard did it. The time of sports' great accomplishments are much more rapid than they have ever been. I also think about it like this. Steph Curry dropped 50 points in a Game 7. Hadn't been done before. But then 3 weeks later, Jason Tatum did it. Like something that hadn't been done in the history of the NBA that Steph Curry finally did. Boom, just like that. Yeah. But here's the strongest point. No 8 seed has ever won an NBA title before. No 8 seed. So if we believe that the Miami Heat can win an NBA title, and it's never been done by an 8 seed, and I believe that to be possible, we too must believe that the Boston Celtics can do what also has never been done before. I can't both believe that the Heat and 8 seed can win a title, which has never been done, but then cut off my belief that the Celtics can come back from down 3-0. So, Joy, I actually am giving the Celtics a chance, but what say you?
I don't like that I'm agreeing with you. Although, has an 8 seed made it to the NBA Finals?
Yes, I believe 1999.
Yeah, so because this is the Eastern Conference Finals. So.
But you think the Heat can win a title, right?
Well, of course I can.
Of course.
But this isn't, they're not playing for the title.
No, no, I'm just saying.
So I absolutely think that they can get to the finals because that 8th seed accomplishment has already been achieved. So I've read your book, the phenomenon you're talking about. Go ahead and plug it.
Illogical, but it doesn't need to be.
No, but yes, but you talk about the man who broke the...
Oh, the mile record. Yes. 4 minute. Roger Bannister, phenomenal story. We'll talk about it.
Yes, and this is the phenomenon that he is referring to while he's being humble, which is rare, but he is doing that. It's a good book. Go pick it up. The point is, you're right. Records are meant to be broken.
Yes.
Like, they don't stand forever. Someone will accomplish it. If I was giving the Lakers a chance against the Nuggets, I'm certainly going to give the Celtics a chance against the Heat, which is why the Heat shouldn't play with their food and should get this done as soon as possible. You have to give them a chance. The series is not over. It's literally not over. I'm a very literal, factual person.
That's
I get a little crazy sometimes, but I do like to function in reality. I'm a Capricorn. I like for things to be right here. I gotta be 10 toes down on something. And the fact is, this series isn't over. And a lot can happen very quickly. So I'm giving them a chance because they do technically have a chance because it's not over. Now, historically, they don't have a chance.
Not at all, historically.
But you have to respect... You have to respect, one, the talent that the Celtics have, and I think that's what you exhibited last night, and what you saw from the Heat, which is if you have a bad game and you're up against a good opponent, they're going to take advantage of that. The Heat had 15 turnovers that led to 27 points. That's the game right there. It was a very sloppy game from the Heat, not very characteristic of how they usually play, and the Celtics took advantage of it.
2-5.
I'm going to say no.
No chance.
Nah, I don't have no chance. In my opinion, I just think that watching this Heat team, they've been tough, right? They have no back down, a lot of grit, a lot of hustle, a lot of hard defense, great coaching. They lost this game, right? I didn't expect them to sweep them. I was hoping for it because, the Western side and Eastern side both had sweeps. That was cool. But I didn't expect that. Okay, so you lose at home. Cool. Now you go to Boston. Everybody's talking about the momentum. Momentum is the biggest thing in sports. Momentum and confidence. But if you get the track record of Boston and Celtics at home, they haven't been great in the postseason. They lost twice already against the Heat. And they lost twice against my Sixers.
Yes, sir.
So I'm not really worried about going back to Boston and win that game. And let's say they lose that game. I'm just not going to wood. Well, it's not my team, so anyway. If they lose there, they have to win twice at home. And I think that Heat team that I've been watching beat the Bucks, which I think they had a chance to, beat the Knicks. Now having a 3-1 lead, against the Celtics, they have to win 2 games at home. And I think that Heat team can go out there and they can get one of them wins.
Here's
what's
fascinating, though, Slick, is we would all agree, and even you at home would have to agree with this. Eventually, in the history of the NBA, a team's going to come back from down 3-0. Can we all agree on that? Like, sometime in life it'll happen.
We want to say yes, but
in life, sometime, right? Like, sometime it'll happen.
It's happened in almost every sport.
In almost every sport,
the NBA.
it'll happen sometime. So if it's going to happen sometime, you would assume the likeliest time for it to happen would be when a 2 seed is facing an 8 seed, and when the 2 seed has home court advantage, when the 2 seed has a first and second team All-NBA player. I'm not saying it will happen. I'm just saying eventually it has to happen because, like Joy said, every record will break at some point in time. It has to happen eventually. You're giving them a chance.
Yes, if you take the 30,000-foot view, which is what you're doing, you're looking historically and saying because these things eventually have happened over the course of the last few years. Shady and I are looking at it from the perspective of these two particular teams. I can't ignore what the Boston Celtics have demonstrated to me going back to the playoffs last year, where it took them 7 games to get past a Milwaukee Bucks team without Chris Middleton, right? It's always, I hate the saying play with their food, but they're always messing around. They are. Just when you think that they've got a stranglehold, then they let go. And in these playoffs in particular, they have done that consistently in just about every series. They were up 3-1 with a chance to close out the Hawks, going home to game...
At home,
right?
Yes.
Game 5.
Yes.
They lost. They had a chance. They go up against Philadelphia. Game 1, have a chance to set the mark and say, we've learned from what we did against Atlanta. They lose game 1. The series is tied 2-2. They're going home. They have a chance to take that big step and take a 3-2 lead. They lose at home. So the fact that they've won this game and they've extended the series and now they're going home where you go, oh, well, this should at least be 6, right? They should at least get this because they just won on... The Celtics have demonstrated they will let that backfire on them. So for that reason, along with the statistical, I get it. Like, it's going to happen eventually, and you make a great point that if it's going to happen, the Celtics being the higher-seeded team, this would be the time. But these Celtics and how they've operated makes me say...
Let me try to convince you of this, then. That at minimum, the Heat should be worried. And not necessarily just because of the scoreboard that exists in the middle of the court, because of the scoreboard that exists within the mind of Celtics players. Remember what the Celtics players said yesterday before the game. Can we show the sound? Don't let us get one. Now, during the course of the show, I was like, wait, have we heard this before? Then I recalled this. 2004. It was the Red Sox. They were down 3-0. Slick Ric Bucher has already alluded to it. Never before had the Red Sox or any MLB team come back when trailing 3-0. They end up beating the Yankees and win a title ultimately in the World Series for the first time since an 86-year drought. Don't let us get one is what Kevin Millar of the Red Sox said of Boston. Well, Marcus Smart of Boston, Jaylen Brown of Boston, they said the same thing. But what was even more interesting, Joy Taylor, and I'm talking to you here, is, well, watching the game, it was peculiar. They showed a former Yankee great, Derek Jeter. And do you know that after this picture was taken, Derek Jeter, Alex Rodriguez, they were both there. They are a part of the Fox family. After they showed Derek Jeter, the Miami Heat were outscored 58-38 during the course of the game. Don't let us get one. That's what Jaylen Brown said. Don't let us get one. That's what Kevin Millar said. Should the Heat be worried?
I really don't. I'm going to bite my tongue on that one heavily. For South Florida, I'm biting my tongue on it. Look, there is a saying amongst Miami Heat fans. It's called cocky Heat fan, right? Like, it's frowned upon to, like, be nervous. But I don't think I can be a hypocrite. I gave the Lakers a chance against the Nuggets, which, looking at it now, would be unreasonable. They got swept. They were in all of those games. I also didn't like, while I knew where that quote came from yesterday, didn't like that they were hearkening to that and talking trash after getting slapped around by almost 30 the game before. But you can't allow teams to crawl back into series. And even though I do firmly believe the Heat will still win this series, That part hasn't changed. There is the future to think about. This has never happened before, right? So I feel that the Heat are still going to win this series, and I don't care about them going home. The Heat don't care where they play, and Boston certainly doesn't care where they play either, because they will lose at home convincingly.
Yeah.
They have no problem doing that. So the home court thing isn't what sways me. The Heat win this series. The Nuggets are chilling right now. The Nuggets are at home. They're resting up. They're getting healthy. So you want to close the series out quickly. You don't want them to have all this extra rest. So worried, obviously, you take care of the task at hand and beat the Celtics while you're up in this series, of course. But there is something, and they're not thinking about that now because they're focusing on this, but you don't want to drag this out for other reasons as well.
But speaking of the task at hand, should they be worried of the task at hand? Should they be worried about, well, the Celtics just won 1. Clearly, the Celtics still have to win 3. But should the Miami Heat be concerned with what's going on?
Jason Tatum didn't even have a good start to this game. The Heat were actually in control of this game at the half. Don't play a terrible half of basketball. It has nothing to do with showing the Yankees. Don't play a terrible half of basketball. Don't have 15 turnovers that turn into 27 points. Kyle Lowry, don't have 5 points and go 1 for 5 from 3 points. Stop shooting from 3 if that's what's going on in this game. It was sloppy. There was no perimeter defense. They were getting shots they shouldn't get. I don't anticipate they're going to play another game like that, meaning the Heat. Boston may have an opportunity to get hot like that. Tatum might have an opportunity to get hot like that. But they don't play that sloppy of a game. They win this game.
I just got one question. Wait, Miami fans, they get cocky? Did you say that?
We did go to 4 straight finals and win 2 championships, and LeBron James chose us. So, yes.
Look,
we do have Pat Riley. We have been in the Eastern Conference Finals 3 of the last 4 years. We have knocked off Milwaukee twice.
But again,
all right. We have some reasons. It goes under the radar because everyone falls in love with the Celtics and falls in love with the Sixers and loves the Bucks. But, historically speaking, we have the most playoff wins.
This is the Joy Taylor that I know and love. The Joy Taylor that I got just a couple minutes ago.
I can't be a hypocrite. I don't like to be a hypocrite. I don't like to be a hypocrite. I said the Lakers were still in it. Why would I then say after the Celtics won 1 game that they're not still in it?
Because the Celtics and the Lakers,
2 different
and your
scenarios,
belief in LeBron versus Jason Tatum. I mean, if I can make an argument for you why you should stay strong with the Heat.
I am still strong. I still think they're going to win.
I'll go against you. Go ahead.
Should the Heat be worried? That's the question that people at home want to know.
About what? That they would lose Game 5 and it goes to they're 6-1 at home.
Yeah.
They're 5-3 on the road. The Boston Celtics are 4-5 at home in these playoffs. Has the number of teams that have gone to a Game 7, never mind, we know nobody's ever come back from 3-0. 70 times a team has gone down 3-0. You know how many teams out of those 70 have just made it to the 7th game?
Like 3?
3.
Yeah.
So the number of teams and there's 31 teams, I believe, have pushed it to a Game 5.
Yeah.
So about half of the teams that have gone down 3-0 have had the guts and determination to push it to a 5th game. But that's it.
Yeah, but I think that the Heat are going to win the series. I truly believe that. They've been playing great this whole. They've been playing the best out of every team in any series, I feel like. But when I'm saying that the antennas are up, the alarm is up because, I mean, let's be honest. If we just talking from roster, they have better players. The Heat is playing better. As a team, they're playing better. But Boston has far way better players. And you don't want the players to start getting confident. Oh, we won 1 game. Oh, we won 2. Hold up. Can we win 3? So I'm just saying, I do think the Heat should win. But we can't act like this team is not an overall better squad.
That's the only reason I think the Heat should be worried, is because eventually a coach has never made a basket. I haven't seen a coach ever get a stop. I haven't seen a coach ever make a play on the ball. The Miami Heat have been playing better, significantly better. I think they've been playing better than every team in the playoffs,
every
except
team.
maybe the Nuggets, because the Nuggets have been out of their mind.
This is the heated conversation that we were having in the hallway yesterday after
No, we're not doing that. We don't have time today.
Do you agree, though? The Heat are playing better than the Celtics.
But the Celtics have more talent.
You think the Celtics is a better squad, though?
I mean, if the Heat win this series, they are the better team.
Yes. Yes, 1,000%.
But what I'm saying is that I think the Heat are playing a lot better
Right.
than any other team in the playoffs.
And through
but for us to say that the Heat is the best team in the playoffs, like nobody would say that.
More talented.
More, yeah.
Yes, because here's what it is for me.
You go from player to player on the Celtics team.
They have a deeper roster.
Denver Nuggets are the most
They have a more
talented,
experienced
best
roster.
team in the playoffs to this point.
I mean,
Here's
None of that matters if they win the series.
Bingo. None
I
of it
agree with that,
matters.
but I'm just saying, given that type of team, that confidence, like, that's scary to have.
No, the Heat shouldn't play around.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.